یہ بتائیں کہ ابھی آپ افغانستان گئی ہیں, وہاں پہ جو انڈیا کے تربیتی مراکز تھے, کیا اس حوالے سے ان سے بات چیت ہوئی ہے, مکمل ختم ہو گئے ہیں یا ابھی بھی وہ موجود ہے؟ دوسرا یہ کہ انڈیا کوئی بالا کوٹ جیسا نیا ڈرامہ کرنے کے موڈ میں, اس بارے میں کوئی اطلاعات ہیں آپ کو؟
جی, علی حسین بزنس ریکارڈر سے. India had been using Afghan soil for terrorism in Pakistan. اب چونکہ طالبان وہاں پہ ہیں, 1 سال سے زیادہ ہو گیا عرصہ, کیا جو ڈوزیئر ہے اس میں یا آپ کے ہاں یا ہمارے ہاں کوئی ایویڈنس ہے کہ افغان سائل ابھی بھی جو ہے ٹیررزم کے لیے پاکستان کے خلاف یوز ہو رہی کہ نہیں؟ تھینک یو.
اوکے, سو ایک اور سپلیمنٹری.
تھینک یو میڈم. اصغر علی مبارک ٹیلی میل سے. جیسے ابھی آپ نے اپنی اس اسٹیٹمنٹ میں بھی کہا ہے کہ جی یہ بڑے اسٹرانگ ڈوزیئر ہیں جو اس وقت آپ انٹرنیشنل کمیونٹی اور یونائٹیڈ نیشن کے جو سیکرٹری جنرل کو بھجوانا چاہ رہے ہیں, ان تمام حالات کے باوجود کیا آپ سمجھتے ہیں پاکستان بھارت کے مابین جو تعلقات ہیں وہ نارمل ہو جائیں گے؟ کیونکہ ابھی تک تو اسٹیٹ ٹیررزم کی ہمارے بلوچستان کے اندر اور پورے پاکستان کے اندر, اگر اس کیس کی بات کریں جس کی یہ پریس کانفرنس ہو رہی ہے, تو اس میں بھی ایک تھرڈ کنٹری جو ہے جس کے اندر یہ سارا کچھ بنایا گیا, وہاں پہ پاکستان کے کچھ قیدیوں کو وہاں سے رہا کرا کے پھر ان کو استعمال یہاں پہ کیا گیا. ایک جو ریلیجس ڈگنیٹی تھی جس کو انٹرنیشنل بین کیا گیا, اور اس کے بعد وہ ٹارگٹ تھے. تو کیا اس حوالے سے, کیونکہ یہ تو سلسلہ جب سے پاکستان بنا ہے پاکستان کو تسلیم ہی نہیں کر رہے, پاکستان اور انڈیا کے مابین کیا ریلیشن اس سینیریو میں بحال کیے جا سکتے ہیں؟
دیکھیں, اوکے, نو مور سپلیمنٹریز.
This was not a supplementary question.
This is a full-fledged question. We will come back to that. Okay, so this is somewhat connected, but it's not really connected, right? But just let me say that I think the lack of attention of the world on the direction and the slip that India has made is dangerous not only to my region, but to the entire world. Because this is a nuclear-armed country which does not desist from attacking another nuclear-armed country or sending fighter jets into another nuclear-armed country for political designs, for electioneering. This is a serious matter, right, which is not currently on the mainframe of world concern, but the direction that India has taken has an impact right now in its own neighborhood only, but soon the impact will be felt in the wider neighborhood, I feel. And this evidence of that direction is everywhere. India was known for its secular values. Now what is India known for? For only being a country which is meant for a certain religious followers, where all other religious followers would be, frankly speaking, persecuted and you know, Citizenship Amendment Act, this, that, the other. What they did in IIOJK, okay, and then to expect that everybody can just happily forget that there are Security Council resolutions on Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so these are all, so you can make as many narratives as you want, but the reality of the region or the reality of geography and the reality of the fact that there is a disputed territory in which India has been openly, you know, killing, miaming, using rape as a tool of state policy and doing all of that, those are realities that cannot be ignored. And sometimes they do find themselves on the cover of New York Times and other magazines, right? And if you, so that's what it is. But اگر آپ کے سوال کا جواب یہ بھی ہو سکتا ہے کہ 10 years from today, where do we want this region to be, right? I think it is a matter of not pride for me to say that we had more chance of removing some of the problems that we have with our neighboring countries 10 years back than we have today. That's not very complimentary on the direction that India has taken, right? So وہ آپ کا سوال کا ہو گیا. دوسرا آپ نے بولا کہ دیکھیں, as far as this dossier is concerned, this particular dossier is focused on this Lahore incident, on the Johor Town incident. So کسی نے پوچھا کہ foreign soil استعمال, this is completely focused on that. اور باقی آپ نے کہا کہ بالا کوٹ جیسا انسیڈنٹ دوبارہ کر سکتے ہیں. اب دیکھیں, میں نے جیسے کہا, آئی تھنک ان کے سوال میں نے آپ کے سوال کا بھی جواب دے دیا کہ جو یہ کر سکتے ہیں وہ کچھ بھی کر سکتے ہیں. جب آپ کو ایویڈنس مل گیا ہے کہ وہاں پہ کچھ بھی نہیں تھا और इंडिया ने फिर भी इस तरह का किया, इलेक्शन तो थोड़ी देर पहले उससे इनका इलेक्शन रिजल्ट भी उनके लिए आ गया. So that just shows you that this is why I call it a rogue state. They're willing to take any type of adventurism and chances to be able to have political interests met. So this is obviously very, very problematic.
Thank you so much, ma'am, spokesperson and honorable minister. It's a two-part question, specifically focused on the issue. First being that previously we've seen such dossiers being done. Your predecessor, on the 14th of November 2019, we saw DGISP, the then DGISPR, and your predecessor addressing a press conference over here, putting out a dossier on India's involvement through Afghanistan in Pakistan. Then last year as well, when this blast happened, we saw the then NSA address a press conference with the then Interior Minister and saying the exact same things which we're hearing a year and a half on. So first is, why now? And is the dossier diplomacy actually working? Or are there no new ideas? Because previously you've seen that this diplomacy or this policy has not really worked out. Thank you.
Okay, I think you have a very good point. But allow me to disagree, because I do not think there's a dossier diplomacy happening here at all. At all. I am very against anything which is, which is not real. Okay, simple. So I would not at all call it dossier diplomacy. I think what it is evidence being shared on a certain country's activities within the region. That certain country continues to project itself, as I said. It's a remarkable feat that they've been able to accomplish. Remarkable. I think we should learn from them, because being the biggest perpetrators of terrorism, India, with hard, solid evidence which is available to us in many, many forms, and what more evidence do you want than their own, agent being caught red-handed, and then all of this evidence which is in this dossier also and in the previous dossiers. But that perpetrator of terrorism continues to play the victim card to the best of its availability. And the more terrorism it perpetrates, the more victim it projects itself. Because right now, you've seen an upswing in the Indian projection of themselves as the victims of terrorism. However, all the acts of terrorism have been happening in Pakistan. So one is asking the question, we cannot be blind to evidence. So what we want is, through these dossiers, I would not at all call it dossier diplomacy, I would call it evidence-based information sharing. Okay, that's what it is. I don't think we seek anything more than that. What we seek is, when you keep on giving the same information, this is not the same information, this is different incidents, different role that they have played in different places, all having one common theme, terrorism. Right? So this is just sharing evidence, sharing information on what India has actually been up to. Now, that may not immediately change somebody's reaction. There are many exigencies which are at work, but it at least puts the record straight. And I think there are many entities, many countries which are fully cognizant of it. Okay, so that's what it is. Why now? Because now, as I said, are you questioning the state that we're in? No, simply, I can tell you why now. Because we've gone through the stage of issuing red warrants. Okay, so we're at a state where the first perpetrators, the people who were used, have already been given punishment. The ones who were facilitators, we have been able to ask for mutual assistance, mutual legal assistance, and issue red warrants. But the masterminds still remain under state patronage. That's why now we are at stage 2, and we want to get to stage 3.